Ever wonder if some of Hollywood's most celebrated directors are riding on past glory? We often see names consistently praised, but does their recent work truly live up to the hype? Um, uh, let's dive into a look at some A-list filmmakers who might be a little more style than substance and explore why their reputations sometimes outweigh their recent artistic achievements. Michael Bay is synonymous with explosions and action, but critics often point to thin plots and underdeveloped characters. The Transformers films uh, prioritize spectacle over storytelling, uh, leading some to question his artistic contribution. M. Night Shyamalan burst onto the scene with The Sixth Sense, known for its twists. Um, However, reliance on this trope diminished the impact of later films, and quality has become inconsistent. Zack Snyder delivers visually stunning films resembling comic book panels. While aesthetically impressive, some argue this prioritizes style over substance, especially regarding character development. Uh, Tim Burton's Gothic whimsy once defined an era. Some feel his unique style has become repetitive, prioritizing quirks over genuine emotional depth in recent projects. J.J. Abrams revitalizes franchises, but often relies on nostalgia and references. Critics suggest this disguises a lack of original plotting or satisfying resolutions. Baz Luhrmann's maximalist style with frenetic editing and music can overwhelm. Spectacle often overshadows emotional resonance or character depth in his stories. George Lucas changed pop culture with Star Wars, but the prequels faced criticism for wooden dialogue and over-reliance on special effects. His world building is visionary, but directing actors isn't always a strength. Roland Emmerich is the master of disaster movies, but his films often feature cliche characters and dialogue. Blockbusters recycle plot points, lacking artistic ambitions. Guy Ritchie's quick dialogue and editing were once unique. However, applying this style to big budget films didn't always work, and he often repeats familiar tropes. James Cameron delivers high grossing films, but critics sometimes find his screenwriting derivative and his dialogue funky. The visual splendor often masks simple narratives. Ron Howard is a competent craftsman, but lacks a distinct directorial voice. His films rarely challenge the audience or push the boundaries of the medium. Robert Zemeckis directed classics like Back to the Future, but became obsessed with motion capture technology video games from '81. This pursuit of innovation sometimes came at the expense of warmth and humanity. Ridley Scott directed influential films like Alien and Blade Runner, but his recent work has been inconsistent. Quantity sometimes outweighs quality, diluting his status as a visionary. Oliver Stone was once a provocative voice, but his later works are often criticized for heavy-handed messaging and a lack of subtlety. Woody Allen was a comedic genius, but his recent output is repetitive and increasingly out of touch. A prolific pace led to a noticeable decline in quality control. And so which directors do you think are overrated? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to share this article with your friends to spark some debate. Speaking of overrated, did you know some directors insist on having their coffee stirred clockwise? Talk about controlling the narrative. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,